All right, so the other day we had an opportunity to really teach our son a lesson. The other day I was taking him to school, and I usually try my best not to be distracted, to really just spend that time with him, as most of you already know. And it's funny how it seems like a lot of lessons that I share, a lot of things that I share are through the rides that we have together to and from school. It's just an opportunity for me to really just be with him and be engaged with him. And rarely do I ever check my phone, but we were at a light and I felt like I needed to for some reason. And when I did, I realized I had a text from my wife, Rebecca. And in that text, it read something along these lines. Did Zane ask Zane if he turned in his band form? So I kind of looked at that message and I looked at him, and I knew that this was an opportunity to teach him a lesson. So very slyly, I put my phone down and I said, hey Zane, did you remember to have your band form signed? And he kind of got like that face, like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I forgot to do that. And he says, I need to get it and let's fill it out. And I said, all right. And I was thinking in my head, I said, do I fill it out for him, or do I not fill it out? I mean, that really crossed my mind. At that moment, I was willing to allow my son to get a 0 for the week in that class. I mean, I really was about to do that. And I thought in my head, this would be a great opportunity to show him some mercy and some grace. So what I did was, at that light, I turned around and I grabbed his backpack. I gave it to him. I said, take out that form and I'll go ahead and fill it out for you. So then I filled my name out, signed my name, gave it back to him. And then I just kind of let it just stew a little bit. And I said, son, what did I just show you? And he had no clue what I was talking about, but I said, son, I really want you to think about what I just did for you. What did I show you? And he said, I know the word, but I can't remember. I know what I want to say, but I can't remember. And I said, I just showed you some mercy, and I just showed you some grace. I said, I need you to remember this, because every part of me wanted not to fill this out and allow you to get a 0 for the week in this class. But this is the only time I'm going to do this. And some of you are probably thinking, would you really do that? Yes, I would. Because I began to ask him, I said, Zane, what do you have to do for this class? I mean, what is it that you have to do for this class? And all he has to do for band is practice 25 minutes, Monday through Thursday, every day when he gets home, and fill out a piece of paper. Those are the only 2 things he really has to do for this class. And I said, is that a lot to do for this class? All you have to do is practice these certain days and turn in this piece of paper. Is that really difficult to do? And he was like, no, sir. I said, you need to be responsible enough to do that. So I said, if it wasn't for your mom, because I didn't remember, if it wasn't for your mom, you would have got a 0 for that. And whose fault would have that been if you would have got a 0 this week? And he said, me. It would be my fault. And I said, you're right. Not my fault, because this is not my responsibility to remember what you have to do for your class. It's your responsibility. Now, some of you may be thinking that's really harsh for me as a parent to do. Some of you are like, man, that's awesome. But for those of you that are thinking that's harsh, I want you to think about this. Would that be the worst thing that happened to him, that he got a 0 in his class? No. But what would that teach him? Ownership, responsibility. Sometimes as parents, we're so quick to do things for our kids, to bail them out. But now are great opportunities that we have now to be able to allow them to fail at times and to learn from their mistakes. Because as they get older, we may not be there to bail them out. We may not be there to help them out of a situation. So that's why they need to learn now the importance of responsibility, especially in a time that they're in school and this is not a life or death situation. So I told him, I looked at him, I said, son, this is the last time. I said, next time you're going to get a 0. I may remember if you did it or not, I may even ask you on a Thursday if you remembered, but I'm not going to bail you out next time. And I gave Rebecca a call after this happened, and I said, look, we're not going to do this again. I'm not. I said, if there's a time for him to fail, it's now. Just for something minute, something so small, this would be the time, this would be the opportunity for us to teach him a valuable lesson. So I want to encourage you parents to find opportunities like this. Now it's different if it's life or death, obviously. But if you have a small opportunity to teach a lesson, take advantage of it. You know, if he gets a 0 for the week in that class, it's not going to be the end of the world. If he fails a class, it'd be hard for me to allow him to do that, but it's not going to be the end of the world. But it'd be great for him to have the opportunity to learn a valuable lesson. Because as he gets older, I tell you what, I'm not going to be there to bail him out all the time. But I want him to learn to take responsibility and to take ownership of the things that he has now. So that later on, when he gets older and he leaves my house, it's easier for him to take responsibility and to take ownership. So I hope this encourages you and challenges you to allow your kids to fail. And let me ask you that before I let you go, man. Are you willing to let your kids fail? If not, you may need to reevaluate some things. Have a great day. Have a great week. Be blessed.